I'm trying a new hairstyle today because I don't understand hair, but I feel like I look like I walked out of 13 going on 30. So, thank you all so much for checking out my video today. If you are new here, my name is Ashley with Ashley's Reads on Twitter or of Fiction and Fantasy on Instagram and TikTok. Today I am here to bring you a reading challenge where I read books by my favorite booktuber. So this was inspired by a few things. Anyone who is one of my booktube mutuals, you know that I am a very delayed booktube watcher, and so everything that I am watching is from like a month ago at like the bare minimum. So like I will watch every video that you've ever made, but I will watch it like a year late. And that applies not just to my mutuals, but to my favorite booktubers, my favorite simmers, my favorite makeup artists. I am a very delayed watcher of YouTube videos. So I have been catching up on Becca's videos from Becca and the Books. I did not start watching booktube until sometime in I think early 2020. I have always loved reading, and I can't think of a time in my life where I haven't been reading a book, except for maybe like junior year of college or sophomore year of college when I was working night shift and doing full-time courses and had organizations outside of it. That was really trying. But other than that time, I was pretty much always reading. And I used to be able to read an entire book in a night when I was in high school. And that was like my main pastime. So things have changed throughout my life, but I've always had books. So I didn't really have a lot of like bookish community though growing up because I was homeschooled and I lived in Utah, which was a very like lonesome time. So with the exception of I think The Hunger Games, I had a couple of friends who buddy read The Hunger Games with me, and then Twilight. Again, I lived in Utah, so Stephanie Meyer is basically a god there. They had like the Twilight fan merchandise in the grocery section. That's the only extent of like book clubs that I had throughout my entire life until in the last year or two. Joining book clubs has been so much fun, and eventually one of the ones that I had joined told me about something called readathons. And the very first readathon that I found, or one of the very first readathons that I found, was Becca's Bookopoly, or the Bookopoly-thon, which is created by Becca and the Books, and you use dice and a Monopoly board to find out what you're going to be reading for the month. So making TBRs has really made like my whole reading life so much fun. So I owe a lot to Becca, even though I've never met her. Because that readathon has helped inspire me to go and find a different readathon or multiple ones because I have no self-control. She's also inspired me to read books like outside of what I would normally read because we have similar tastes in things that I have read, and then she reads a lot more like epic fantasies and has really gotten me into reading epic fantasies, and I love that because it's actually something that seemed really intimidating to me that I truly enjoy. And finally, she inspired me to also just create this booktube channel in general. So that is why she is my favorite booktuber. Sorry for that extra long cheesy rant. But essentially, I was inspired by Michael doing a YouTube video reading my favorite book. And I think it was Bailey from Is Bailey reading her favorite booktuber's favorite books last year. Again, I'm really behind on videos, so it could have been early this year, but it was a great video and I'll link it below. I have decided to try and read 5 of Becca's favorite books from 2020 since I don't think her 2021 one is out yet since it's only October. But I have made a little post-it note somewhere. Oh no. Okay, so a lot of these are series, and I also really like to read books by the author sort of in order, or at least if I have the book already. So some of these will be like the author that she mentioned, but not the book or the first book in the series. This is going to be in a vlog style. I'm going to read like one book and vlog my thoughts on it. So this will probably be a 5-part series, and it's gonna be a lot more casual than this. I'll just be like on my couch in my pajamas. So don't expect a lot out of this. The first one is one that I've started, and that's why I am filming this on my off day really fast so that I can start vlogging about it. But the first one is Crescent City, or House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. I am reading this because this was a 5-star read for Becca and she mentioned it in the video. And it's also a book club read with the Atlantis Book Club, and a buddy read with my friend Laura, and a buddy read with my best friend Jamie. So this is very high on my TBR. I'm also reading this for the Aurelia Readathon. I knew absolutely nothing going into this book. I'm only like 50 pages in. I don't really actually know anything about this still, except that it is about a half-fae named Bryce, and she lives with her best friend Danica, who is like the third in line or second in line of the local werewolf pack, and it's an urban fantasy, so they have technology. That really threw me. I was like, why do they have a security camera? Was that a typo? So yeah, I have no idea what's going on with this book, but I have caught up on Throne of Glass and the ACOTAR series, so I'm finally ready to start this one. I will be reading this first. For my second book, Becca picked It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, and I do plan on reading this one, but I already own Verity by Colleen Hoover, which she also gave 5 stars. So I will be trying to read Verity first. I don't know when. We'll see. The third one is The Invisible Life of Addie Larue by V.E. Schwab. I did just get this book after I made this list, but I will be reading a V.E. Schwab book that I purchased a copy of first that I think came out before it, and that is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This is also a 5-star read by Becca, and I think this also might be an urban fantasy. It is about 2 characters named Victor and Eli, and they were college roommates. I think this is post-university, and I believe that it is a like corruption arc, or where both of them are very morally gray / villains, and that's also all I know about this. Loving the red though. Oh, I was supposed to describe Verity. I don't know anything about Verity except that there's some kind of murder, or a wife or husband is sick, and one of them was writing a book, and a detective or a writer, I think the writer is supposed to come and finish the book, but then she realizes that there might be some sort of some of the book might be like real life. For the 4th book, Becca put Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb, which I actually own a copy of that now as well, but I'm very confused on if Robin Hobb's series are interconnected. So I think for peace of mind, I will be starting with Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I do not have my hands on that yet, but I plan on getting it in the very, very near future. And that one, I know literally nothing about it, except that there is probably an apprentice of an assassin. It might be an orphan, and that was also a 5-star read by Becca. And then for the 5th one, I have not decided. I picked 2 books where Becca had picked the 2nd book in the series, or the 3rd, as her favorite for last year. And so the ones that I am reading, she only gave 4 stars. So I think she liked the sequel better for each of these. That is Rhapsodic by Rhapsodic by Laura Thalassa, and I know absolutely nothing about that book except that I've heard it's really good. And it's fantasy, I believe, adult fantasy. And The Bear and the Nightingale by Katherine Arden. And this one, I've heard that I should read it during the winter, and I've heard that it is a nice cozy wintry read. I don't know what that means specifically. Like, is it cute and adorable, or is it going to rip my heart out, but like in a kind way? So I have no idea about most of these books, and I feel like that is pretty on point for my channel, and I am really excited to get into attempting to reading these. And I will, as I mentioned, be starting with Crescent City, so I'm going to turn this vlog off and let you guys know what my thoughts are on it. Let me know if you want these to be spoilery or spoiler free. So for now, I will just do my 10% update in a spoiler free way, and I think this should be published by the time I get to 20%, so hopefully I know by then what you guys would prefer. But yeah, stay tuned for more. Bye guys.